I'm back another album review. Today's review is on the original score for Beavis and Butthead Do America. I've already reviewed the soundtrack with the songs from various artists. Now it's time to review the original music that was composed and produced by John Frizzell. This means there were actually two soundtracks that were made for the movie. The OST was recorded by Chris Dibble at CTS Studios in Wembley, Middlesex, England. He did the mixing at Lansdowne Studios in London, England. The executive producers were Mike Judge, Emmanuel Chamberlain, and Toby Piniak. The associate producer was Mark Cross. The engineers were Jeff Mann and Eric Jordan. The editors were Jennifer Nash and Abby Trelligan. The conductors were Alan Wilson and Andy Brown. The orchestrators were Emily A. Bernstein and Frank Bennett. The orchestra that performed was the London Metropolitan Orchestra. The supervisors were David Franco, Graham Walker, and Tricia Lutz. The mastering was done by Willie Traugott at Capitol Mastering. The soundtrack was released in '96 on Milan Records. And now let's talk about the songs. This review will contain spoilers from the movie, so watch this review at your own risk. The soundtrack starts with Butt Kong. Butthead has a dream where he and Beavis are gigantic and terrorizing the city. The next track is The Flood. The boys were at the Hoover Dam messing with the controls and caused a flood. After that is The Unit in Beavis' Pants. Dallas hides the X5 unit in Beavis' pants. Next up is Dying in the Desert. Boys were wandering around in the desert. Beavis eats what I'm pretty sure is peyote and starts hallucinating. Up next is the ATF. The ATF were after the boys because Beavis had the X5 unit in his pants. That's followed by Dallas and Muddy. Now, they were the antagonists of the movie, and they stole the X5 unit. We followed up with Searching for the TV. The boys were searching for their TV because it got stolen. Right after that is Beavis the Sperm. Beavis has a flashback to when he was a sperm and claimed that he scored. The hallucination scene started right after that. What's next is the freeway incident. The boys escaped from Muddy's car and caused dozens of vehicles to crash on the freeway. There's no way they could have survived that in real life. And the only reason why they survived is because they're animated. What's after that is DEFCON 4. Beavis became Cornholio and was talking on the president's phone. DEFCON went from 5 to 4. What comes next is Jajorian Chant. I need to mention that the songs are out of chronological order. What comes after that is Mr. President, We're Never Gonna Score. Aside from Searching for the TV, the boys were also trying to score. Spoiler alert, they didn't score. What follows is Walk Into the Sunset. The boys found their TV and insulted each other on the way home. The following track is The Standoff. ATF agents were surrounding Beavis as Cornholio. I liked when Butthead asked if he could have a gun too. The X5 was recovered after Butthead caught it and handed it to Agent Fleming. The second to last track is Ingu La Mona. This track wasn't even in the movie. The soundtrack ends with Mucha Muchacha. This track was played when Beavis decided to spank his monkey in Mr. Anderson's camper. I couldn't find any information on how the soundtrack formed commercially. Granted, not as many copies were sold compared to the other one. I did see that the soundtrack has a 4.37 out of 5 on Discogs as of the making of this video. Now for my thoughts. I think this is a really good soundtrack. The OST turned out really good, and John Frizzell knocked it out of the park. He later composed the original music for Office Space, which is another god-tier film that Mike Judge directed. If you take a look at the cover, you notice that Butthead is wearing a box shirt while Beavis is wearing a Mozart shirt. That's very on brand for the soundtrack, and it's major contrast to the Metallica and AC/DC shirts that they wear on the show and in the movies. However, the back cover shows Butthead wearing a shirt that says Skull, while Beavis' shirt says Death Rock. The majority of all merchandise depicts them wearing those shirts. Overall, I highly recommend this soundtrack. Now this part where I question you. Have you listened to the OST for Beavis and Butthead Do America? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? If you've seen the movie, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify you future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another review.